You ever wake up to the sound of a hammer instead of birds and just know your whole world's about to shift under your feet? That's how my morning started the day. The HOA decided to improve my view by pouring concrete on my late wife's garden on my own private island. Yeah, that happened. And the real punchline? They thought I should be grateful, just smiled that smug little smile, waved some fake permits in my face, and acted like I should send them a thank you card. But let me back up a sec, because you gotta know I was letting them do it. That's right. I wanted every single one of those 28 houses finished, because they had no idea what I kept locked in my old steel safe, and that my friend was the ace in my hand. Let me ask you, where are you watching from? Drop a comment, because if you think a homeowner should never get bullied off their own land, you're going to want to see the look on their faces when the tables turn. And trust me, justice is coming. It wasn't always like this. For 40 years, the only sound on that water was bullfrogs and wine through the pines. My wife, Ellen, used to say it was the quietest place on earth. Haven Island, just a scrappy patch of dirt and rock we bought in '83 when everyone else thought it was worthless. I drained it by hand, cleared every inch, built our cabin from the ground up board by board. We were supposed to grow old there. But after she was gone, it was just me, and that island became all I had left of her. Her ashes, under that big willow by the shore dream garden. So when I heard the hammers that morning, I knew something was wrong before I even set my coffee down. Took the old aluminum boat, same one we used to fish in Nan, paddled across, heart pounding, hands tied on the oars. What I saw made me sick. Orange fencing everywhere, bulldozers already chewing up the old deer trail, hard hats everywhere. Some kid, couldn't have been out of college more than a year, holding blueprints like he knew what he was doing. "Can I help you?" he said without even looking up. That's when you know you're in trouble. Arrogance of someone who's never owned a thing in their life. "This is private property," I said, and the kid squints at me like I'm the one who's lost. "You must be Mr. Dalton. Here's your notice." He hands me this laminated sheet from the Lake View Shores HOA. Says they bought the parcel last year. Bought it from the county surplus. Never mind, I've paid taxes for 40 years, got my deed notarized sitting in a safe box at home. He shrugs. "Take it up with them." That's when Carla Minden walks in. Crisp white suit, heels sinking in the mud, all confidence and condescension. She's the HOA, President the Queen of Beige, as folks call her. She just pats my arm like I'm a confused child. "You should be grateful, Mr. Dalton. We're improving the area. Think of the property values." My stomach turned cold. They were standing 10 yards from where Ellen's ashes lay. I went straight to the county office. 2 hours in a chair that smelled like mildew, waiting for a clerk who could barely keep his eyes open. When I explained, he tapped at his keyboard, frowning, and finally said, "Sorry, sir. Looks like your parcel merged with Lake View Shores during a data migration a few years back." "Misplaced," he called it. "Gone." I showed my tax receipt. She just shrugged. "Talk to the HOA." The newspaper wouldn't listen. It was my word against their digital records and plastic smiles. That night, I watched the island glow under floodlights. The hammers had turned into a pile, driver thumping right where the willows stood. Right where Ellen should have had her garden. And I realized Z1 was coming to help me. The rage burned cold and sharp like a knife. You don't yell at a problem, you study it. Find its weaknesses, dismantle it. Let them build, I thought. Let them leave evidence. Next morning, I opened my safe. There it was, the original 1983 deed, with a notary seal, a hand-drawn survey map, and a stack of tax receipts thick as my arm. Real paper, real ink. I let myself believe it would be enough, that the system would work. Then came the community meeting at the HOA clubhouse. It was a trap, of course, staged to label me as the crazy old man. I walked in with my oilcloth packet, laid the deed on Carla's podium, and spoke clear and calm. She just smiled. Paperwork gets old. Things get misplaced. The county records are what matter. She said my wife's handmade, Sinellan's Haven, was outdated. I looked around, and not one neighbor met my eye. Not one. They'd bought the narrative along with the beige carpet. That's when I stopped appealing to decency. I walked out, my mind racing, noticing every detail: the power lines, the water pipes, the single gravel causeway connecting the island. They'd built everything on a fatal flaw and didn't even know it. I started documenting. Every truck, every worker, every inch of pipe and wire, everyday photos, drone footage, time-stamped and cataloged. My workshop turned into a war room. I filed my formal challenge, nothing but delays and stalling from the county. Then, an intern at record called. Whispered like she was passing state secrets. She found an old master plat survey from 1982. Official county document showed my island, Parcel 7B, as a separate private holding with deeded access to the mainland. That was the crack I needed. My lawyer filed a motion. The HOA responded by burying me in paperwork motions to dismiss, requests for financial records, expert affidavits, all designed to cost me money, to wear me out. It worked for a while. I watched them pave a parking lot right on top of Ellen's ashes. I lost Itrin at the crew, shouting about sacred ground. One of them just laughed, turned away. I felt like a ghost watching strangers erase my world. But grief cools into resolve if you let it. I started digging for flaws, not just in the paperwork, but in the land itself. Buried in microfilm, I found a 10-foot wide right-of-way, deeded to my island, running straight through their causeway. Every utility, every road, all built on my strip of land. Called Ray, an old army buddy turned county surveyor, owes me a favor from a poker game. 2 nights later, by moonlight, he marks the boundaries. Every pipe, every cable, every inch of their road on my property. I started talking to the right neighbors, the ones tired of the HOA's nonsense. Dave the plumber, Mike the mechanic. They saw what I saw. "What are you going to do, Jack?" Mike asked. "Let them finish," I said. "Let them build it all. The higher they build, the harder they fall." So I waited. My son, Evan, visited. Saw the toll it was taking. "Dad, they'll crush you. Sell the cabin. Let it go." I thought about it. Maybe I was just an old man fighting windmills. Then the HOA sent me a violation notice. $18,000 fine for illegal discharge of pollutants. Blame my half-acre plot for the mess they'd made with bulldozers. It was a declaration of war. Any doubt I had vanished. Grand opening day. Ribbon cutting, news cameras, Carla beaming for the crowd. I watched from my truck, every piece of evidence in a worn leather briefcase by my side. The real move had already been Medea, quiet title action filed in state court. A complaint to the Utilities Commission about illegal lines crossing my deeded land. Real justice, slow but sure. Courtroom day. Carla and her lawyer stroll in, smug as ever. Their guy drones on about digital primacy and bona fide purchasers, waving their binder of fake records. Our turn. My lawyer lays out the original deed, the old plat, the GPS survey overlay showing every structure on my property. The judge studies it. "Did your association conduct its own boundary survey?" she asks. Carla stammers. "We relied on the county's records." Then a county guy stands up, admits they sold a parcel they didn't even own. Judge bangs her gavel. Full title and ownership to Mr. Dalton. All structures, all improvements. HOA pays legal fees and punitive damages. Homeowners must negotiate leases with the rightful owner. The room erupts. Reporters shove mics in my face. I look at Carla and say, "You told me I should be grateful. You were right. You just built me 28 rental properties." Aftermath? The HOA fell apart, lawsuits everywhere. County investigations, Carla out on her back, indicted for fraud. Families who bought houses on my island thought I'd be the villain, but I offered each a fair, long-term lease cheaper than their old HOA dues. No rules except to act like neighbors. Every single one signed. With the first lease payments and damages, I tore down their stupid sign and put up a new one, Haven Island Private Community. Evan helped me set up the LLC. Profits go to a fund for local veterans. The Marine who moved and helped me restore Ellen's garden ripped up the asphalt, planted a willow, placed a plaque for Ellen. Justice served. We had a barbecue that fall. No agenda, no HOA, just neighbors, kids chasing fireflies, laughter, and for the first time in a year, the island sounded like life again. Evan stood next to me, watching the lights flicker in the 28 homes. "How do you have the patience?" he asked. I looked at the plaque, the willow, the lake reflecting the sky. "Sometimes," I said, "you just let them build their own gallows. So tell me, was I right to fight for what was mine, or should I have let it go?" Drop your thoughts below. And if you ever tangled with an HOA or know someone who has, share your story. Hit that subscribe if you believe justice still matters. Because sometimes the only way to win is to let them think they've beaten you right up until you close the door for good.